Hi, I'm Sarah Moore Grimke, and I'm here to tell you about me and my sister Angelina. I was born on November 26, 1792, and Angelina was born February 20th, 1805. We grew up in a wealthy South Carolina family who owned slaves. When I was young, I taught the slave children how to read, which was against the law and definitely against my father's wishes. In 1821, I moved to Philadelphia and became a Quaker. In 1829, Angelina followed me. Angelina joined Philadelphia Female Anti-Slavery Society and wrote letters to newspapers in women's point of view protesting slavery. In 1836, I was reprimanded for speaking in front of a Quaker meeting because I was speaking in front of men and women, and that was unheard of for a woman to speak publicly. After that, I moved to New York with my sister, and we worked for its anti-slavery society. Angelina wrote Appeal to the Christian Women of the South in 1836, which was very courageous of her because it caused so much hostility we were not allowed to go back to South Carolina. That same year, I addressed another audience with Epistle to the Clergymen of the South. Angelina followed with Appeal to the Women of the Nominally Free States. That year, we traveled through Massachusetts, and clergymen formally denounced us, saying that women should be silent. Angelina became the first woman to speak before a legislative committee presenting an anti-slavery petition. That same year, I published letters in the equality of the sexes and the condition of women, which predated other feminist theories by decades. That May, Angelina married Theodore Dwight Weld of Boston, and I moved in with them. Me and Theodore published remarkable collections of newspaper stories called American Slavery as It Is, Testimony of 1,000 Witnesses. We used actual words from Southern plantation owners about escaped slaves, slave auctions, and other incidences that happened. My brother-in-law was from a prominent family also, but we struggled financially because of our views. Angelina gave birth to 3 children, Charles Stewart, Theodore, and Sarah. We farmed and operated schools in the 40s and 50s to make money, and we moved throughout New Jersey a lot. We tried practical pantsuit styles that were promoted by Amelia Bloomer at the time, but quit when our parents distracted us from our ideas. We finally retired in Hyde Park, Boston in 1864. Our activism was switched to women's rights after the war because slavery was abolished. We were among the ones who tested the gender-neutral language of the 15th Amendment and attempted in the 1870 election, but males turned us away with other women. In 1868, we found out that we had 2 nephews by our brother Henry who had gotten one of his slaves pregnant. We took them into our home and our family and treated them as if they were white. Francis James married Charlotte Fortin, who was an outstanding Pennsylvania black woman, and she carried on our feminist legacy after we passed. I was 80 when I attempted to vote for the first time and died 3 years later, 2 days before Christmas. Angelina died after suffering a stroke and died on October 26, 1879. My brother-in-law lived on until 1895, but never was as radical as we were. While being abolitionists, we saw how women were treated, and that's why we changed our abolition ideas from slavery to women's rights after the war. Centuries later, our ideas and legacy was forgotten until Gerda Lerner revived our interest and wrote a book in 1967.